Welcome to Tactical Talk. This is Zain Khan. Today we're going to talk about the fascinating fighter jet JF-17 Thunder. The JF-17 Thunder is a lightweight, single-engine, multi-role combat aircraft developed jointly by the Pakistan's PAC and the CAC of China. To discuss further into the topic, we have with us today retired Air Marshal Masood Akhtar, an analyst, public intellectual, and also public speaker. Welcome to our show, Air Marshal Masood Akhtar. This is Zain Khan. It's a pleasure to have you on Tactical Talk.
Thank you.
Air Marshal Masood Akhtar, let's get to the first question. What are the technological upgrades made in the JF-17 Block 2?
First of all, I think we must tell your viewers as to what is Block 1. Block 1 is a 9G agile platform which has got all glass cockpit. It has got CFDs, it has got multifunction displays, it has got a fly-by-wire control system. So that makes it truly at least a third generation fighter. Block 2 will make it anything third generation plus, meaning thereby it will carry all the modifications that have been done in Block 1, number 1. Number 2, the weapons are going to be more accurate. That means the software upgrades are going to make it very, very accurate, which are already pretty accurate, and that is why people are wanting to buy it. Number 3, it may have a dual cockpit, and the viewers must know that as of now, Pakistani pilots, and that's the quality of the Air Force that we have, are flying the simulator like the airliners, and then going solo in a single cockpit JF-17. And last of all, it will have an air-to-air refueling probe, which is already probably in hand, has been developed, has been put on the aircraft, and it's undergoing trials. So these are the kind of upgrades which are going to be there in Block 2.
The Pakistan Air Force has stated that it wants active electronically scanned array AESA for the JF-17 Block 3. What does it mean for its operational capabilities?
When we were in the Air Force, we flew aeroplanes and radars that were very, very simple, basic Doppler radars. So they had a full antenna which used to move within the cockpit, within the nose of the aircraft, and there was one beam that would go out and pick up and lock up and track targets, both air as well as sea. The present radars are far better, but they are still following the same principle, the Doppler radars, but they're far, far better. The electronically aided radar will enable the JF-17 so that it is going to have not one, but maybe 100 odd elements which can independently act as antennas, and they will transmit and receive. So meaning thereby the radar will be able to see, lock up and track multiple targets, which was the case in the advanced F-15s and F-16s, and of course the Sukhoi 30s. So Block 3 is going to have the AESA, and it will have a very, very unique multi-target contact, track, and engagement capability.
Air Marshal Masood Akhtar, what does the JF-17 program mean for Pakistan's aviation manufacturing industry?
When we started the JF-17, this was basically to have an indigenous weapon system and become self-sufficient and escape from the clutches of conditions which Americans specially imposed on us. And even the French tended to do the same, but to a much lesser extent. So number 1, it gives us self-sufficiency and gives us an indigenized, latest, modern, agile weapon system. When we started, there was hardly any industry down below. So it is for the government of Pakistan to articulate this weapon system in a way that the industry down below benefits from this. Not much has happened as of now, but gradually the industries down below are coming up in smaller ways, which will help, number 1, develop this aircraft, which we are doing at a cost which is much higher than that we could afford. And number 2, develop the industry down below, because this is the best, after of course the nuclear weapons, for which there is hardly any industry. After the nuclear weapons, this is the weapon system which will help the industry down below flourish and come up.
Can the JF-17 platform effectively take up our maritime security operations?
Absolutely. We have a fighter squadron in the south which has taken over, in fact, the responsibilities of seaward defense. If we recall, our maritime mirages were flying it's a known fact, the Exocet, French Exocet, to help defend our naval frontiers and our waters, and help support the naval operations during war and during peace. The JF-17 is going to fly an Exocet plus plus, and this is a Harpoon Plus version. And Harpoon, of course, is the state-of-the-art technologies that Americans gave to us for operation, and of course the Pakistan Navy is operating this weapon system. So it is going to have this missile. The first models are probably already here, and this will be able to, and of course this is Chinese, and this will be able to help us defend the waters and naval frontiers, and help us support the naval operations in a much bigger way, which has been a weakness in the past.
Sir, JF-17 is starting to get export orders. Do you think it will become an export success in the near future?
One of the reasons why JF-17, the primary reason was to make us independent of foreign constraints. That we have achieved. But to have a 9G platform which is very agile, which has got the latest weapons, which has little political strings, and which is very cheap, to the tune of something like $20 plus minus $million, would be very, very attractive for anyone. And of course, I also know what everybody knows in Pakistan from open sources, that probably Myanmar, Sri Lanka have inked the agreements, and Sri Lanka, despite the fact that Indians had put a huge pressure that they should take their LCA, light combat aircraft, and probably Nigeria is interested, Egypt is interested, Zimbabwe is interested, Qatar is interested, and if you notice, the demonstration in Qatar was undertaken at a very short notice from the government, and this happened only about 2 weeks back in Doha, and I think this was a huge success. So the market opportunities are many, and it's a very, very attractive fighter for any third world country that probably doesn't want political constraints, and it's cheap relatively.
Last question, is the Pakistan Air Force going to induct further blocks after inducting the JF-17 Block 3?
Block 3 itself, the Pakistan Air Force is considering whether to push the 50 aircraft of Block 3 into Block 4 also or not. So, but the Block 3 is going to be very, very potent weapon system. Like, it is going to have the AESA radar, which is going to be fully electronically scanned array radar. It is going to have a helmet mounted sight. It is likely to have conformal tanks like a Block 52. And the aircraft, which already has very good high and low attack ranges for ground attack, are going to improve after the conformal tanks also come for the ferry, as well as for some kind of operational roles also. So Block 3, yes, but as of now, I do not know whether a specific Block 4 is planned, but they could push Block 3 into Block 4 itself.
Thank you so much, Air Marshal Masood Akhtar, for being on Tactical Talk. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
This was Air Marshal Masood Akhtar discussing the JF-17 Thunder. Until the next episode of Tactical Talk, this is Zain Khan. Take care and goodbye.